Step 3, completing the middle or second layer of the Rubik's Cube. So you've completed the entire top layer of the cube. Your next goal is to complete the second layer of the cube, or the middle layer of the cube. So you can see now, in this cube, every second layer is completed. This is the goal of this video. So what you're going to do is, remember that you've worked in the past with the cube with the white side oriented to the top. For solving the middle layer, we're going to flip that and we're going to work with the yellow layer at the top. So again, here's a cube in the orientation you have with the first layer solved only. When your goal is to solve the second layer, you want to flip this cube so that the yellow side is going to be on the top. So to complete this step, your goal is to get all of these pieces to be the correct color that matches their side. So on this red side, I want red here, and green side, green, green, etc. To do that, I'm going to take a gander at the top side of this cube. I'm going to look for edge pieces. Now, remember, an edge piece has two colors on it. These are edge pieces that do not have the color yellow on them. Edge pieces that do not have the color yellow. So here's one that has red and green. I'm going to take an edge piece that doesn't have yellow on it, and I'm going to match that side color with its correct side. So I'm going to turn the cube so that that red-green piece matches with the center side. So I have this on the correct side. Now I'm going to put that side on the right. So I've got the green-red on the right side of the cube. Doing this orients this edge piece so that it is in the middle on the top, and I need to look for where I want this to go. I've oriented it so that I want it to go here. You can see the piece that goes here should be red on one side and green on the other, and that is this piece. So I'm going to take this two-colored non-yellow edge piece. I'm going to put it on the right side so that it matches with its center, and then I'm going to apply the following algorithm. R, U, R, U, R. That's basically 5 steps. R, U, R, U, R. And then we're going to prime the remaining letters. So we did R, U, R, U, R. I'm going to U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. Now let's see what had happened. Up here, you might remember, we had a red and green piece. That is gone. It has now gone here to the back of the cube where we want it by applying that algorithm. Let me say that again. The piece that was up here in the middle has now moved to the back edge piece where we wanted it. Let's do that again. I'm going to put that cube aside. So let's look at this cube. So again, I've got one layer solved. I want to solve the second layer, of course. Let's look for edge pieces on the top that don't have yellow on them. This one is yellow and red. We don't want that one. This one, though, is blue and orange. So we would like to orient this piece so that the orange matches the orange center. So I'm going to turn it around. And then I'm going to put that on my right side. Now let's look at what we're doing. I've got blue-orange. What I want to do is move that here to the back, to the blue-orange. Notice on this cube that the green-orange is in the space that I want to be occupied by the blue-orange. So I'm going to put that edge piece, match with the center, on the right side, and I'm going to do the algorithm again. R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. So remember that on top, we had an orange blue piece. It is now on that back level of the cube. If you're wondering what happened to the other piece that we had, you might remember that that other piece was orange-green, so it went from here over to this side of the cube. Now sometimes, instead of having a piece on the top right edge that you want to move to the back middle edge, you will instead have a piece that's on the top right edge that you want to move to the front. To do that, all you're going to do is reverse your algorithm. So let me show you an example. So on this cube, I have a piece, a red-blue piece. I can move this red-blue to match with the blue center. Actually, that doesn't work because if I put the cube like this, then I want to move it to the back. Well, let's try that anyway, because you need a little bit more practice. So RU, RU, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. And again, we have completed this back corner by moving the piece that had been on the top to the back corner. Now we've got a good example for us. Here is an edge piece that is blue and orange. I want to move that blue-orange piece here to the front. So I make sure it's matched up with its center, which of course it is, and then I'm going to apply the algorithm in reverse. R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. U, R, U, R. That piece that was blue and orange has now moved toward the front. Let's try it on this piece to get a little bit more practice. So this is red and green. So I'm going to want to move this to match the red side. And I've got it there. My red-green edge. Remember, I'm trying to locate edge pieces that don't have yellow on them. So red-green. I'm going to put it on my right side. And because it has red on it, we actually want it to be back here. Red, green. So we're going to do RU, RU, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. Now we're to a point on our cube. Let's turn around where we've got one of the edges is yellow, this one's yellow, this one's yellow, and we have one last piece that does not have a yellow on it. It's green and it's orange. So we're going to match it again with its orange center. And it's green-orange, so we want it to be here in the green-orange. One thing to keep in mind when you're trying to remember the algorithms is that, so one of the algorithms is RU, RU, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, and the other one starts with R prime. The best way that I think you can remember it is that I want to move the cube in the direction that I want the piece to go. So this piece I want to go forward or R prime. So my first move on this algorithm always starts in the direction I want it to go. So R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R. And once I've done that, lo and behold, here I am. I have 2 layers solved. Let's pull that cube out that I had from before. So let's see what else we can do on this cube. So I've got blue, red, and I need that blue-red piece to be here, blue and red, right? So I put it where it lines up with its red center, and I want it, again, to show up here. So I want it to come to the front, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R. I can look around and I see that I have one more piece that's out of place. I'm going to look at these centers. That had yellow on it, that had yellow on it, this has orange on it. I know that that orange piece, orange and green, is what I'm going to move next. So I'm going to move it so that the orange matches the orange center. Again, it wants to come to the front. So R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R. And I have solved that second level. Now, before we move on, I want to say that sometimes you will have an unsolved middle layer. You can see I've got a piece here, and that piece looks right except that it's flipped. Or another way of identifying these pieces is when you look and you say, well, I need to solve a yellow cross piece or yellow edge piece that doesn't have a yellow on it, but all of my pieces have yellows on them. If that's the case, what you want to do is bring this piece up to the top layer. And then you'll be able to bring it down in its correct orientation. So if you want to get this piece to the front, you would do R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U R, U R. And when you do that, this piece would move down here and this piece would move to the top level. So what we're going to do using that reasoning is do that same algorithm to move this piece here and then this piece back up to the top. So I'm going to do R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R. So you can see now that my piece with the yellow, my yellow-blue, has moved down here, and I should now have my green-orange piece on the top layer somewhere. So I can look, and in fact, it has moved right here. Now that I've got it there, I can do what I would have normally done, just line it up with its green side, turn it to the right, then keep in mind that I want this, because it's green and orange, to go on the back between green and orange. And so I will do RU, RU, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime. And that moved my orange green piece into place to complete my second level.